So what do you see like from the excitement of when you visit different kind of customers or bartenders, or like what do they really get excited about the brand? Like what is the
You know, I think one thing that we're focused on, especially in higher end accounts, is really educating people on the history of the brand and how, like, you know, I've been to Italy a few times, and just the extraction process and how they extract the essential oils from the bitter almonds and the vanilla and how they add it to the whole process. You know, people are, especially in the higher end mixology accounts, they're really into knowing how things are made, the step process, and how we do. We're a very innovative company when it comes to that. So that's really something, once I share with people, that they really are like, wow, I didn't really know that about Disaronno. When I start talking about the bitter almonds and how they're extracted and just the whole process, like, you know, people think about it differently. And then also, you know, the history. I think people like brands with stories, and we have an amazing story. That's, you know, we have a brand that's almost over 500 years old, owned by the same family. For 500 years, it's been passed down to generation and generation. So, you know, those two things for me when I'm out and talking to people about the brand are things, especially in the higher end accounts, that I'm really trying to focus on, because it really you know, makes them think about our brand in a different way. And then once they think about it in a different way, these are the people that are the trendsetters. They're the ones, you know, when they're doing something in the cocktail world, people are following suit. So the whole idea is to get them thinking about our brand that way, so they start using and making cocktails, and hopefully those, you know, those cocktails and ideas transcend to the guys who are looking up to what they're doing.
Right, and they kind
and
of
gals
allow you to get to give them the creativity and say, you go figure out how to do it, and then take whatever they have and go, this guy's made some pretty good stuff.
Exactly. Well, I mean, you know, most brands are built. That's why it's so important to really relate to the bartending community, because, you know, most brands are built on the on-premise, and the bartenders are the gatekeepers to those brands. So to really have them as an advocate for you, you know, will help people look at your brand the way, you know, how you intend them to want to look at it, you know. So it's, and the history and the, you know, how the whole process is made, because it's such a really, you know, how they really do it is so innovative. You know, it really has helped us to expose our brand more to the mixology community.
And it's got more of an authentic story, as opposed to
a
lot of the rum brands or whatever who just put a cool story in the back that doesn't necessarily make sense. And
yeah, you know, I've been working for the brand for 6 years. When we first started, they were very limited on the information that they would give us, because they had a lot of, you know, if you look at our bottle, it says Disaronno Originale. We are the creators of the category. And there's a lot of actually smaller companies around Serrano that produce their own versions of amaretto. So I think it was very important for them to kind of keep that. They don't want to give out too much information. But as the years were going by and how people were drinking, I mean, people are much more informative on what they're drinking, and really with the story and how it's made. You know, we really stressed them that it was very important to not give them all the information, like, you know, every step of the process of how it's made, but to give them the key things like the bitter almonds and things that they could really be like, wow, I didn't ever know that, you know, so.
Yeah,
it's been very
the
important.
internet probably doesn't hurt either, because you can get a lot more of the story out, and people can do their own research. They come up. Now, do you have amaretto on the label? Does it say amaretto on it?
So here's the story with that. For branding issues, we took it off the front of the label. On the back of the label, it does say the amaretto liqueur, but it's not focused on the front of the label. And the reason why is, when the brand in the 50s was first introduced into the U.S., it said Amaretto Disaronno.
Right, and I felt like there was different things happening and I didn't understand.
Well, they created the category up for Amaretto, and they made the mistake, well, not really a mistake, I'm going to say, but by putting the category first. So when people looked at that bottle, they automatically said, oh, that's Amaretto. If you ask many people Amaretto, they automatically think that square bottle. And it was important that we rebranded it, because we want people to think Disaronno when they see that bottle, the original Amaretto. We don't want people to just think of the category. It'd be like, you know, take a vodka brand. Go, give me a vodka brand.
Absolute.
Okay, that's like just Absolute, just being called vodka.
Right, yeah, that would be bad.
Vodka of Absolute, you know, it's the same kind of concept. Like it's the brand that we wanted to focus on, because Not only that, we created the whole category of amaretto. So we want people, when they think of that, to think that bottle and think the word Disaronno,
So
not
people order a
amaretto.
Disaronno sour or a
Exactly,
Disaronno
exactly,
Coke or
exactly.
whatever, instead of just, even though when you order an amaretto Coke, I don't know, everywhere I go, it's always going to be that brand, but I can see from your perspective that that's, you want to own your brand, not the category, because everybody else can encroach on it.
Well, we feel like we are the category.
Right, right.
And everything that, and you know, I guess I'm paid to say this because I work for the brand, and I don't want to make it sound like I'm, but if you really taste it up against a lot, you know, many of the competitors, there really is, you know, there's a lot of good products out there. There's people making good amarettos, but when you taste ours in comparison, just the body feel in the mouth and the flavors that I was telling you about, the bitter almonds and the vanilla, like everything really pops. And we have the highest ABV out of any amaretto, which means it makes it great for us to not only create cocktails with just amaretto. We can stand
Almost
alone
as
in
the core.
drinks, and we can also mix well with other spirits to really create really cool flavor combinations.
So you're not just doing 4 drops. You're able to generate that cocktail.
It's very versatile. It's a very versatile product, not only on its own, but you know, with other. It plays very well in the sandboxes.